Most people buy property with a mortgage and a nameplate. Billionaires? They buy it with a law firm, a tax haven, and a name you'll never find. Welcome to the secretive world of shell companies, where the ultra-wealthy don't just buy homes, they vanish behind them. Imagine this, a $120 million penthouse in Manhattan just sold. The buyer? D-Bay Enterprises LLC. But dig deeper and you'll find that D-Bay doesn't make tech, doesn't have employees, and has no social footprint. It's not even a real business, it's a shell. And that shell shields the real buyer, a billionaire who just moved into the city without anyone knowing. Shell companies are powerful tools that obscure ownership. And for the rich, that's the point. Whether it's privacy, tax efficiency, legal protection, or asset shielding, these corporate wrappers provide them with the ultimate form of stealth. Here's how it works. A billionaire sets up an LLC in Delaware or the British Virgin Islands. That company buys a property, not the individual. On paper, it's just a legal transaction between entities. But behind the curtain, it's a calculated maneuver to disappear in plain sight. Because in many jurisdictions, the beneficial owner of a company doesn't need to be listed publicly. The name on the title? A lawyer. The payments? Routed through another entity. The result? Absolute anonymity. But this isn't just about being secretive. Strategic. Shell companies can shield the owner from lawsuits, inheritance taxes, even political scrutiny. Imagine a high-profile billionaire facing a scandal. If their name is tied to real estate, it becomes a target. But if the property is owned by a nondescript LLC, it's invisible to journalists, investigators, and even governments, unless someone is really digging. And they're not just used for hiding. Shell structures often enable layered tax benefits. For instance, routing ownership through multiple jurisdictions can allow the owner to take advantage of different tax treaties, loopholes, and deductions, reducing the effective tax to near zero. One property, zero taxes, and full control. But the real genius lies in how these structures protect wealth intergenerationally. Let's say a billionaire wants to pass on a $50 million home to their children. Transferring it directly would trigger estate taxes, possibly north of 40%. But if the home is owned by an offshore trust, wrapped inside a shell company, there's no transfer of the property, just a shift in company control. No taxes, no legal red flags, and the wealth stays locked inside the family dynasty. Even risk management plays a role. If a billionaire is sued or targeted in a business dispute, assets owned under their name are fair game. But a property hidden under a layered network of shell companies is practically untouchable. It's not theirs, legally speaking. It's owned by an entity. Of course, critics argue this system enables corruption, money laundering, and manipulation, and in some cases they're right. Shell companies have been used to hide illicit wealth, purchase properties with criminal proceeds, and move capital in and out of unstable economies. But billionaires who operate above board, they use these structures not to cheat the system, but to master it. Because in their world, visibility is vulnerability, and owning assets directly is like walking through a battlefield wearing a neon vest. Even high-end real estate agents are in on it. Many work exclusively with offshore buyers through corporate vehicles. The vetting is strict, the deals are silent, and the paperwork is ironclad. No names, no press, just wire transfers and signatures. Some cities, like London, Miami, New York, Dubai, have entire neighborhoods owned anonymously. Entire skyscrapers where no one can say who actually lives on the 34th floor, because technically no person does. Just entities. In 2023 alone, over $3 trillion worth of property globally was owned by anonymous shell companies. That's not just stealth wealth, that's stealth empire building. So next time you see a billionaire's mansion, you might wonder who owns it. The answer? Maybe no one at all. Just a shadow wrapped in a company floating in legal limbo. And that's exactly how they want it.